Welcome to Player Ratings. We're back, but it's not me and Lou. It's me and Dee. Please remember to like and subscribe. We're on the road to 10,000. As Dee's been saying in the other streams, you've been doing a great job with the subs and the likes, so keep it up. We really appreciate all your support. We're going to be doing the breakdown today of our Europa Conference League qualifying second leg versus Fredrikstad 0-0. Dee, what's up, bro?
I'm good, man. It's been a while since I've done a rating show. I used to do them every other week. But yeah, you and Lou have been doing a great job. Of course, he's over in Norway, and it's time that the viewers get some ball knowledge, rather than a facade, rather than that facade that gives out wrong score predictions, that gets always predictions wrong, but he knows ball. But yeah, man, all jokes aside, now it's good to be here.
Well, it's great because what's going to happen is in the comments, people, remember you guys always put great things about me and Lou. We appreciate it. Please be sure to comment on how Dee has done this week because I want to get a comparison because I'm always here, but those two kind of go back and forth. So let's see. Let's just let's rate. Let's go rating for Dee versus Lou. How about that?
That is funny.
Let's start with the lineup, Dee. Wow, Fredrikstad 5-4-1. And let me tell you something. That was the deepest low block I've seen in football history, bro. That was hard. Obviously, we played off the basic 3-4-3. What are your thoughts on the way that Fredrikstad not only set up but how they played? Because it was hard to break down.
You know what? Tactically, they were well spot on. Of course, they had the 5-4-1, but then their game plan, you can see it. They wanted to make sure that the midfield area was compact. So the likes of Kamada and Saar, who was trying to play a bit more narrow to open the space for the wing backs that we have, they couldn't really get on the ball because there was no real passing lanes for us to get into. So yeah, it was like a 5-4-1, but they basically said to our centre backs, you have the freedom to put crosses into the box. With the wing backs, they defended them well. They would have their wing backs push onto ours, like how we defend as well in terms of pressing. As soon as we get up the pitch, so Sosa and Munoz were targeted all game long. So it was pretty much the only plays that we had available based on their low block was the centre backs that likes of Gay and Richards in the wide areas and Lacroix through the centre. But in terms of like our main creativity, it came from the centre halves, and you have to give credit to Fredrikstad because defensively they were set up well, and we just didn't have enough quality in the final third to find and beat the players and the low block to create enough proper good chances.
Yeah, I want to give credit to the manager Andreas Hagen. He set up in a way that really frustrated us. Fredriksson, the middle of the back five was excellent. He really did a job on Mateta today. And obviously their game plan was set pieces, especially with those long throws. So listen, I'm not putting them down, but that was they were very disciplined. They worked hard. They never came out of that block until they had to get that goal late to try and get to tie the game. But listen, credit to the coach because again they had a game plan. They frustrated us, but luckily got the 0-0. I don't know about you, buddy. I am buzzing for this European journey. I mean, I know that I was stressing out over losing Eze and him not playing. But I got to give credit to the players that performed in these two matches. Bro, they've had no rest, really. We've been going Thursday, Sunday. And to get this, I know people say, oh, it was a boring 0-0. I thought the performance just digging down to get the result was massive. What about you?
Yeah, it was a great result at the end. The performance wasn't as good. I don't think anyone out there is happy with the performance. I think the result matters. In occasions like this where you just have to win that one game or to both legs to go through. No one cares about the performance. No one's going to talk about, oh, we struggled against Fredrikstad if we do well in this competition. Just like an FA Cup, I always want the easiest teams in all competitions. Fredrikstad on paper was meant to be an easy team, but they gave us a good game. And the players, they just look tired. They look tired, and they shouldn't look tired in early August. So that's a bit worrying. Credit to the players, credit to the manager, and I'm frustrated for them. They look a bit frustrated. I mean, they didn't have full time. They were celebrating, but we're just asking an awful lot from like 13 or 14 players that we have available, realistic first-team players. And it's just not good enough for a Premier League club, let alone a club that's competing on European football. But thankfully, we managed to get the job done today, even though Fredrikstad created a few chances. We got there in the end, and hats off to the manager and the players, which we, of course, will discuss in terms of the ratings.
Yeah, let's jump into the ratings. We'll start with Dean Henderson. Both gave him a 6. I'll go first. Fredrikstad had 7 shots, but only 1 on target. He had nothing to do. He did drop one long throw, what really scared me, but we cleared it like in the 30th minute. Really worrying, but he made another catch late in the game on a cross. 14 out of 24 passing, not great, 58%. 5 out of 15 long balls. But the 3rd clean sheet of the season, I'll give him credit for that. But again, he didn't have much to do. And again, that one drop was a little concerning. But overall, I thought he did okay. Your thoughts on Dean Henderson?
Yeah, he didn't have much to do. His distribution wasn't that great. Maybe the pitch didn't help in that aspect as well for some of these performances. But yeah, it was that one moment which was a bit scary from the long throw, I think, and he literally just missed the ball completely. And thankfully, they didn't score from it. But yeah, I can't give him a higher than a 6 because he didn't have that much in terms of saves.
Next, Danny Munoz. I gave him a 7. You gave him a 7. You want to go first on Munoz? How do you think he did today?
Yeah, I thought he was good. Down the right hand side. It was mainly the left centre back Gahey trying to find the spaces in behind, and that was the switches of Danny Munoz. He didn't really create that many chances. I mean, both wingbacks didn't, but he was very involved. I think defensively he was solid as well. He won majority of his duels and his tackles. It felt like, but yeah, like there wasn't that many like crosses I can remember from Danny Munoz. But I thought, yeah, defensively he was solid.
Yeah, the graphic says he had the most tackles in the match, 5. 21 out of 32 passing, not great.
I didn't even know that,
yeah. Yeah, 1 chance created, 64 touches, 4 out of 5 tackles, 6 clearances. Very good defensively, but you're right. He didn't really get involved going forward as much. He had a couple of crosses, had 1 cross late early in the second half that we almost scored on, but he wasn't as involved as I would have liked. But again, I kind of understand the strategy. You don't want to push on, and plus, when you have Sosa on the other side, who's definitely more of an attacking wingback, you don't want to bomb both of them on in a game that you don't have to win. So for me, I understand what we did. Go on to Borna Sosa. I gave him a 6. You gave him a 7. You have to talk about that 7 in a bit, but he had 4 crosses.
The most in the team.
The most. Yep, no doubt. Listen, the most in the team. The only problem is
should have got an assist as well if Chris Richards scored that header from the corner that he took in the first half.
Okay. The way it works, I talk first, and you can talk. I know you're doing that. You're trying to keep this whole.
I'm gonna be demoted. Okay, all right, cool.
It's cool. No, listen, he definitely should have had an assist. He had a free kick that Richards should have had. He had a cross in the first half that was that Richards definitely should have headed in. 25 out of 33 passing. He did again 2 chances created, 52 touches. I thought he did okay. I know that we've gone back and forth on the crossing. I think his crossing can be a little bit better. I don't have a problem with him playing though because he hasn't played a lot. He didn't play a lot last season. Obviously, he hasn't played a lot this season. This is his 2nd match that he started. Last Thursday being the first one. I got no problem in rotating. I still think Ty's a better player, but I don't have a problem with what he did today. I just think that in a Premier League match that it's a tighter game, I'd rather have Ty in there. But what are your thoughts on Sosa?
Yeah, I think he's I've said it before. I think in a wing-back role, he's better suited in terms of technically with his crosses. Today he had the most crosses. Even today, defensively, he wasn't bad either. In terms of ground duels won, he won 4 out of the 6 he went for. So and 2 out of 3 in the air. So I thought overall he had a solid game. He He didn't have that many chances in terms of to put balls into the box. Whenever he did, I thought the deliveries were fine. I can't remember any delivery being like way off the pace. Sometimes the players weren't there, and the Fredrikstad defenders were packed out, of course, in a box. So we're asking an awful lot to make sure he's pinpoint accurate in terms of crosses. But his crosses, they landed at the right spots. And as I said, he should have got an assist as well. So for me, I was pleased with his performance. But of course, for me to give him a higher rating, maybe an assist or something a bit more significant had to happen. And I don't think he was, even though he was involved in all the crosses, I don't think he was involved as much as he could be because of how defensive they were, and there were no space for him to at times get into to put the balls into the box, like even more deliveries.
And I'll give him credit. Everyone in the back 5, the whole team deserves credit. We did keep a clean sheet, so he's part of that. So credit to that. But let me go on to Chris Richards because the man who should have got a goal from the assist from Sosa was Chris Richards. I gave him a 7. You gave him an 8. I'll go first. Again, Chris had some really good chances to score. I said defensively he was excellent. As the graphic will show here, he had the most duels won 11. was very
Oh
good in
yeah,
the
I was
air.
going to say that, and
Yeah,
a lot of them were in the air as well. I'm pretty sure.
yep, they were 11. It was 12 clearances, 7 of them headed, 2 recoveries, 7 out of 13 aerial duels won, 4 out of 6 ground duels won. Passing wasn't great, it was about 74%, 49 out of 56. But defensively, I thought he did really well. The only criticism I have of Chris is that he had 3 excellent headers. He had to score one of them. I mean, 2 of them were like, I would say within 4 or 5 yards. One was a little deeper, but and again, Sosa put one really good ball on. I think the other one might have come from a corner kick from Kamara, I think it was. But again, he played well, probably clean sheet, but he had to score today. Would need a lot of pressure off us. What are your thoughts on Chris Richards today?
Yeah, he was brilliant in the air. That's what stood out to me. Saying that, he should have still scored goals as well. But overall, defensively, whenever they were going long, I thought Richards was there at the right time, right place. Also, going forward, he did put a few balls into the box. So he was involved down the right-hand side, just like Gay was down the left. But yeah, he was dominant. He was dominant defensively, and he's the best aerial defender that we have
Yeah.
at the back line. So yeah, he done his job. But of course, if he scored a goal, then that would have been like a 9 or 10 because I thought he just bossed that defense today.
What I like about our backfield, I'm going to get to the other 2 in a minute, is that they all have different attributes that are really important. You're right. As far as aerial duels, Richards is dominant. As far as on the ground and marking players and recovery speed, Lacroix is brilliant. As far as leadership and carrying the ball and making passes, Gahey's brilliant. So they're all different in different ways. That's why I think they work so well together. But again, I agree with that. I think Richards had a really good game. Let's go to actually the second player in that group, which is the left-sided player, Mark Gahey. Both given 9 our man of the match. Your thoughts on Gahey, who I think this might have been his last game, but let's not get into that right now.
Yeah, I don't know if it was his last game, but successful
I hope
passer you
not.
can see there. 92 out of 96, absolutely ridiculous. 96% of course passing accuracy, 115 touches. That is the most touches. I was literally checking to see if it was. I was going to say I won't be surprised if that was the most touches. Yeah, he was one of our most creative players in the side, and we're talking about centre back. He bossed the defense. He didn't have that much to really do defensively. I thought Richards was a bit more involved defensively than Gay was. But overall, he was composed on the ball. He controlled it in terms of playing out from the back. And yeah, he had a very good opposite side of the game to what Richards did in terms of like going forward. I thought he'd done the most he can with balls into the box, with the passing, and just being composed on the ball. Whereas Richards was very good defensively, even though he did get involved with the attack as well. But I thought Gay was very good on the ball, and it can't be his last game. If it's his last game, it's a decision that the club made. I know we're doing ratings to sell Eze. You don't sell Eze and Gay just lay in the window. You're taking a piss. As simple as that. And a lot of people are not going to be happy if that happens.
Now, just so you guys know, just give you a little insight. The reason I'm saying that because Lou was at the game and Lou said the way that he clapped off the fans, it looked like he was leaving. But let's hope that Louis, who's very, he understands. I hope he's wrong because if this is his last game, and I saw a rumor about today at 40 million, I'll be furious. But as far as I'm concerned, today Gahey was brilliant. Again, what I really liked about it, besides the touches and the passing, was that you're right, D. He tried to be the creative person in the team. Knocking balls wide, knocking balls into the box and crosses, just trying to create something. And that's something we've seen. We saw a little like my last year against Newcastle when he got the assist for the Munoz goal. But that's not really his forte, but he can do it. And I like the fact that, we've lost Eze. We don't really have a creative spark. Wharton tried a little bit today. We'll get to him in a minute. But I like the fact that he tried to be that creative spark today. It didn't work out, but it could have. But I really loved that about him. And again, the touches. You're right. Defensively, he didn't have a lot to do because Laquan Richards were the defensive part. He kind of took on more of a playmaking role, but I thought Gahey was really good today. But again, to me, the most dominant player on the pitch and was definitely the man of the match for me and you.
Yeah.
Maxime Lacroix, both gave him an 8. I'll go first quickly. Very good defensively. I thought he locked up that tall player. I wish I remember his name on. I'll get it right now. What's his name on
Bolton?
Yeah, Holton. I thought he did a great. Holton is a big man. I thought Lacroix did very good with him. Kept him quiet. 78 out of 83 passing, 94%, 96 touches. Again, he and Gay knocking it back and forth. 4 out of 5 accurate long balls. He's a very underrated long ball passer, very good at it. 4 clearances, 5 out of 6 aerial duels. He was very, very good. Lacroix, excellent. I really like what he did at the end of the match when he went up the crowd, the fist pump again, get it pumped up. 0-0, but we're through, and I love that about him. Your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's talks about him potentially being captain once Gay leaves, and I'm not against that. Like, he understands it. He's got a great connection with the fans. Passing was very good today, 94% as well. But yeah, overall, I thought him and Richards, they had a similar type of game. I thought they were very good defensively. Both of them did get involved at times. Going forward, he had that one pass look that I remember. I think it might be into Sal Kamada, where he just went past 3-4 Fredrikstad players, and it was like a low ball. And just literally forward, and it was a great pass. But yeah, Richards Lacroix, I can repeat the same thing again. There's no point for me to do that. So just as a quick summary, great defensively. I thought he was good in the air as well. And going forward, I thought Gay kind of took the lead, even though both of the other two defenders, Lacroix and Richards, they did get involved at some points as well. But I thought Gay was just clear and composed.
I forgot. You also had a shot, remember? Had a shot over the bar, 60th minute.
Yeah. He did. He did.
You almost got a goal.
So
There's that too. So yeah. Get to our midfield 2, central 2, Jefferson Lerma. I gave him a 6. You gave him a 6. You want to go first on Jefferson Lerma? How do you think he did today?
Yeah, I've always had the stance. I think he's a great defender off the ball, but on the ball, you see his limitations. And in this game, I guess the only reason why Glazer played him is it was 1-0 to us in terms of going into the game on aggregate. So as long as we have someone solid defensively and maybe stop attacks, then we still go through, and we did end up going through. But yeah, Lerma 74% passing accuracy. Some of the passes were just poor. And yeah, I think off the ball, he had a decent game. But yeah, I would have given him a higher rating if he was a bit more useful on the ball, which I just think his passing just doesn't help us at all, especially against a low block. He just hasn't got in his locker.
Yeah, he's an excellent squad player, but at this point of passive development, I definitely want to see him used more as a utility player again, coming at center midfield, come on as a sub, spot start at center back, whatever, because you're right. I love him as a person. He really works hard, but he's not creative. He can't score goals. He's good in the air, which is good defensively and attacking, but he doesn't score goals. But he's very good defensively. And today, in a game like today, which you know is going to be kind of scrappy, you don't mind having him win the ball, get it to Wharton. And he did it a few times, but he, again, on the ball, he's just not technically gifted enough. Great to have around the team. Don't get me wrong. I don't want him out of the team, out of the squad. I'm just saying, but he just has limitations. And today, he kind of saw it. The pitch didn't help. The plastic pitch did not help for sure, but he did not have the best of games today. Adam Wharton. Well, I gave him a 6.5. You gave him a 6. I'll go first. I thought he tried to take the play the first half. D played really, really well. Tried to get involved in the build-up with Gahey. Set up JP for that 1-1 at the end of the game that was safe. JP got scored at, buddy. Would have been a great for Lou and them guys. I mean, limbs at the end of that game. But I think he faded as the game went on. He probably was tired. Passing 29 out of 40, 72%. 54 touches, 4 out of 5 long balls. So they were working today. 2 out of 2 tackles, 1, 3 recoveries. 3 out of 5 ground duels. Defensively was excellent. Again, I just think he faded. Again, he's got to be tired. He's played a lot of minutes in the last 2 weeks. Thursday, Sunday again. Thursday, probably will play Sunday again. He played well, but I thought that he definitely faded. But what are your thoughts on Adam?
Yeah, Wharton, I got, of course, there's going to be some risky passes, and I got high expectations from him, but his passing wasn't that great, especially in the second half. I think the first half he was a bit better. And yeah, I think similar to Lerma, I don't think it was as bad as Lerma. Some of the Lerma's passing were just completely baffling. Wharton's passing, it wasn't great, but you can see what he's trying to do. But yeah, defensively, when he did lose the ball a few times, he tracked back, he got the ball back, and we started again. So that's the reason why I thought it was a pretty average performance by Wharton based on his own standards.
Yes, spot on. I agree with you. Next, Ismail Sarr, both gave him a 5. Your thoughts on Sarr today?
Yeah, Sarr, this is not the game for Sarr. It wasn't the game for Sarr in the first leg or in the second leg, especially when everyone got when they've got the whole team back and defending for their lives. Sarr is simple. You get the best out of him when you have spacing behind where he can run into and use his speed and use his strength. In games like Fredrikstad, when teams are just sitting back low, he can't do much. I don't expect him to do much because he's never been that type of player. He's not a creative player like an Eze is, etc. He's a different type of profile. So today he struggled. I thought he struggled in the first leg as well. And yeah, I mean, I don't know about by his stats, 56% passing accuracy. Very bad. I'm not surprised about it though. He had 31 touches, but yeah, he was just trying to get involved, but he just couldn't get involved. It was a poor game.
I think the stat that stands out for me, 5 out of 9 ground duels won. He worked really hard defensively. But again, I wrote down on my piece of paper here, very quiet. He was ineffective. You're right. He can't play against the low block. We can't as a team, but he can't especially. What shows it is 87th minute, he gets running behind, and that guy Waledzi brought him down on the foul. He had spacing behind. He was going and he got fouled. He was the most foul player in the match. But again, versus a low block or mid block, he's ineffective. He needs a high line that he can get in behind, and he's shown that before. It's not his fault, which is why we need to add to the squad so he can, game like this, he doesn't play. He doesn't play until the second half when the line moves up and he can get in behind. But we don't have anybody. Who else is going to play today? We couldn't play SA, couldn't play Deveni. There's no Edouard. There's no Raksaki. So I'm not faulting him. I think he put in a shift, but it's not the game for Son. I feel bad for him. But again, we got the result we needed. We got through, so I'm good. Daichi Kamada, both game of 6. I'll go first. Good to have him back, but he's not a 10. We can do this again. I mean, I think he can play in a pinch, but I'd much prefer to see it next to Wharton. Passing was very good. 43 out of 50, 86%, 56 touches, 2 out of 3 long balls. But he had one corner. The one I definitely had a corner was one that Richards had a chance. No, actually didn't, because there's no chance to create. So it wasn't even a creative outlet. Daichi, to me, I like the fact that he had that versatility between the 10 and the 8 or the 6, but to me, he's better in the middle of the park. He's got more space, more time to see the pitch going forward as opposed to being out wide. I saw him a couple of times drop into that midfield position next to Wharton and Lerman to kind of help out. But again, he came off the injury. It was an MCL. Those are tricky. And to come back this quickly and to help us out, because again, if he didn't play today, oh my days, I don't know who's going to play on that left side. So, you know what I mean? So I'm glad he was back, but he didn't have a great game, but he was fine for a player that's been out for a while and just, again, doing the job. But your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think how Fredrikstad set up went against Daichi because there was no space for Daichi to operate in, and at times the touches when he did get on the ball would be a bit deeper, or he would shift to the left hand side and operate that space because they just close off the middle and out wide those spaces. So yeah, there wasn't much that he can do to get involved because of how they're set up tactically. But yeah, he's better than. I'll still take him over Deveni in that number 10 role. SA is clearly not ready yet, so we had no other option, and good for him that he played 90 minutes. I wonder if he can play. I wonder how many minutes he can play against Villa, because we're going to need him in that game unless we make signings ASAP before the Friday 12 p.m. deadline, which I don't know how many signings we'll make by then. Probably only one, if we can, if that's anything. So yeah, we're going to need him again on Sunday. So. We're asking a lot from a player that's coming back from injury, but hopefully he should be ready.
Loss of the starters, JP Mateta broke game of 6. You want to go first on JP? How you think it did?
I could have given him a low rating. To be fair, I forgot about. I don't know how I forgot about that. That miss.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, his first touch at times were off. Sometimes there was some decent balls onto him. But not all of them, of course. I don't think it was his best game. He had a big chance, of course, that he missed a final goal as well. And yeah, he had 37 touches. And I thought Fredrikstad had done a great job trying to stop him. They always had a defender on him. He never had any real space. And I feel like when he did have that space, he didn't make the most out of it as well. In terms of his touches, especially around the midfield area. Sometimes he was dropping deep to get involved as well, which you can tell he was getting a bit frustrated. But yeah, with him, I don't know if fatigue plays a part as well, because we literally have no backup striker. And we shouldn't be in this situation. I'm going to say this many times. We shouldn't be in this situation. But then again, Nketiah's out injured, so that's the reason why. But hopefully, once Eddie's back and international break, JP can rest. We should be good to go once the Conference League starts around October. So hopefully Eddie should be back around those times.
That's my point, D. The fatigue factor. He has played 90 minutes or close to 90 minutes, every game this season from the Community Shield to today. He works his socks off. Again, Fredriksson, the guy who was marketing, really was physical. He did have 2 shots on goal. He got the early yellow card. So after that, he couldn't be overly physical. You don't want to get a second yellow, God forbid, and get a red card and down to 10. But he should have scored that goal. I think he kind of snatched at it. It was a great ball by Wharton. I think Wharton played in that ball. It was definitely Wharton. He's 1-on-1. He could have gone around the keeper. He had an opportunity. The guy spread himself, but he had run back. Remember, there was a corner kick. He was up on the goalie. He spins back into the box. A little composure there. But again, I cannot kill JP because you're right. No Nketiah. today, not even no Edward. The guy's not getting a break. He's running himself off. He's trying to press and help out the team. Yeah, he probably should have given him a little bit lower. I agree. But listen, man, the guy's working his socks off. So I got to, I gave him the 6, and that's what it is. Quick to the subs. We'll go to Deveni first. Obviously, wasn't on long enough. I thought he did okay while he was on. He had a great chance, actually. A shot that was knocked over a bar for a corner, or as soon as he came on.
So yeah, that chance.
And then T. Mitchell, I gave him 6.5. You gave him 6. Your thoughts on Ty as a sub today?
He came on, had 10 touches.
100% passing.
Yeah, 5 passes he made. 100%. 5 out of 5. But yeah, there isn't really much to add really about his performance. He didn't really do much.
Needed the rest. I like the fact he didn't start. I'm glad Sosa started. He needs the rest when he can get it. I think it'll make him a better player overall. Part of a clean sheet, no issues. Finally, the manager. Oliver Glass. I gave him an 8.5. You gave him an 8. I'll go first. Listen, our first trip to Europe, our first away trip to Europe, we got the result. We're through to the group stage. I thought the lineup was the best he could have done. I like the fact he played Kamada and he was able to do that. He got 2 subs on, maybe being SA on, maybe, I don't know. I'm not really fussed about that. I thought tactically, we tried to break them down. We had opportunities. Sosa wide, put in the ball, Mark, get edge of the box, hit it to the back post. Wharton, free kicks, which were not great. I didn't mention that, by the way. To the back post, headers. We had opportunities. But again, the most important thing today was get the result. He sounded very pleased after the game that we got through, happy with the crowd, happy with the performances, understand that the squad is very light. And with with 14 senior players, it's a joke, man. This guy's done is a joke. So I should give him a 10, but I gave him an 8.5. But your thoughts on Glass as we wrap up?
Yeah, every time, even now when I'm just thinking about the amount of players that we have, I should be over the moon that we qualify for the league phase, but it just genuinely pisses me off. It pisses me off that we've done this with this manager out of all the managers that we've had in the past, but with this manager, we're taking a piss. There's no excuse for that. But yeah, we're through to the league phase. You look at the squad, you look at the starting 11, you look at the bench, there's not much you can do. There's players that have to be playing because there's no other options off the bench. And he still managed to get the best out of everyone. We qualified. Of course, it would have been nice to get 2 wins, but we just had to get the job done. That's what that matters. Game at a time, get the job done, move on to the next round, which is now the league phase. And then hopefully when we play in October, gives us a bit of time from here till now to make sure the new players, hopefully there should be quite a few of them that come in, can bed into the side, and then we kick on properly in the league phase. But yeah, he's the first manager, of course, to win us FA Cup. That's not part of the ratings, the Community Shield, and he managed to qualify us for this for next round whilst having a limited squad.
Brilliant. And lastly, yes, now 30 matches Palace are undefeated, 13 without a loss. Yes, exactly. Anyway, that's it for me and Dee. Dee, thanks for jumping on, buddy, for the play ratings. Lou will be back. Hopefully it'll be a vlog for Fredrikstad. But real quick, Dee, what do we got coming up as far as previews and stuff?
Oh well, yeah, we've got everything coming up. We got the transfer deadline day show on Monday. We got the preview for Villa coming out potentially Friday night. Okay. Yeah, or Saturday, because Saturday is meant to be the opposition preview drop in. So yeah, there's lots of stuff. Palace news will be out this evening because this is of course getting released on Friday afternoon, where we'll be reacting to that Conference League draw, and we'll be seeing who we have. I don't know. I'm not in the future right now. Hopefully it's a good draw. So yeah, loads of content. Like, subscribe, and yeah, Road to 10K is on. I appreciate you all for supporting the channel.
Yes, thanks, Steve, for coming on. And until next time, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.